Kemi destroys Starmer. I don't know who's managed to get hold of Kemi Badenoch recently, but in the last couple of PMQs, 2 or 3 PMQs actually, and her conference speech, she's actually been pretty impressive, which was the way I thought she'd be from the start, because if I was still a Tory member, I'd have voted for her in the last leadership contest, but she's obviously been very disappointing. But she is starting to get a grip of it. Maybe she's got a new team, new advisors, I don't know. And quite wisely, she used all 6 questions on the grooming gang inquiry that Labour, it seems to me, are trying to brush under the carpet, kick down the road until after the next election, because they don't want their own party's involvement being exposed. This is what Kemi Badenoch had to say.
Mr. Speaker, 4 victims on the Rape Gang Survivors Panel have resigned. And they've resigned because they've lost all confidence in the government's inquiry. So I'm giving my first question to one of them, to Fiona. She said, being dismissed and contradicted by a minister when you're telling the truth takes you right back to that feeling of not being believed all over again.
6 questions she used on it. Starmer had no answers whatsoever. He started talking about law, saying how Kemi Badenoch doesn't understand law, started talking down to her like she's thick. And she may be many things, Kemi Badenoch, but she's not thick. She's a clever woman. She's a qualified engineer. Starmer thinks he can just quote the rule book to her. And then she did what she did last time to get rid of Mandelson. She said to Starmer, have you got full confidence in Jess Phillips, which is who Fiona Goddard was referring to when she said she was just being ignored and basically being called a liar by Jess Phillips. Starmer had to commit once again to having full confidence in somebody else. Full confidence given by Starmer tends to mean only one thing. It means you're out of a job pretty damn fast. So we'll see what happens now with Jess Phillips. But the victims are coming out and saying they've been ignored, saying Jess Phillips didn't care what they had to say. She just wanted to walk away from the situation as soon as they started telling their stories. And we know now that 4 of them have resigned from the panel because they've got no confidence in this government to actually investigate the grooming gang issue properly. Something that is still taking place to this day, by the way. Starmer also came out and said that he didn't want to appoint a judge to head the inquiry because of the swift process. Well, it isn't that swift, is it? They've been in office 16 months. They called the inquiry 4 months ago, and the Tories have been calling for it for 10 months. So I don't call this a quick process because 0 progress has been made so far. They just don't want to have the inquiry because they know Labour and the party as a whole are going to come out much worse than anybody else.